All right, we're back for Speaking of Japan 2. This is November 23rd. All right. So let's go through. Let's have a look, see what we did last time, and I'll give you this week's work. Extreme sports was the topic last time. We had quite a few things to submit. There was the extreme sports.
Chapter 6 Extreme Sports.
Okay, to do that, 25 minutes. There's loads of videos to watch, quite a few videos. You didn't have to watch everything, but and then the first to do that, and the tasks here. Don't forget, I can check if you have done the work by clicking the links. Okay, so remember that on Moodle I can see, even if you don't have to submit something, I can still see that you've clicked the link and you've checked it, which means that you're looking at it. So let me just show you an example here. I won't show you the name of the student, but this is quite a fairly good one. As you can see, this student has clicked most of the links. A little less here, a little more here, and all of them here. This is not too bad. When there's a gap here, that means that you should be clicking those links. All right, and I can check that you've checked it, even if there's no submission. What does this mean? It means in the final grade, when it comes to the homework section, it might be 20 to 30%. I can check that you've been doing the work. Okay, so if you haven't clicked the links, you can go back and check all the links, but it's a good idea before you check the answers. If I give you the link answers, make sure you've done it. Okay, because there is the time and date on there as well, so I can see if you clicked it before or after I've put the answers up. All right, so this is quite a good one. But there are some gaps, so see if you can have 100% clicking report. Yeah, so if I, for example, give you the answers, some of the answers to last week's, like the extreme sports and the article about doing sport when you're older. So here, the two answers. I can tell if you've clicked this link before or after the deadline. I can tell because there's a recording of the date and time of the links. How many times? When's the last click? All right. So if you've clicked it after, sorry, if you've clicked it before you've submitted, then I know you've checked the answers before you've submitted the work. All right. So be careful of that, the timing of when you do the work. All right. But let's check. We'll go on and check. So the task. There was a summary task which we like to do. So we click the link here for the PowerPoints, and some of you have already finished this one, summarizing it. Yep, there's people actually doing it right now. I'll choose one. For example, let's have Rupak. Here we've got only one line, maybe a couple of words to summarize the for and against. So a good thing for extreme sports, it shows courage, pushes the envelope. That's a good phrase. It means that you push yourself. That means to challenge yourself. Creates inner motivation. All sports are dangerous, not just extreme sports, and bring out your best. And against is senseless. It is a show off. Put other people's lives in danger. Should be regulated like smoking and drinking, and foolish, destructive behavior, self-destructive behavior. So this is a good exercise to limit your words when you summarize. And what it does is it gives you the vocabulary, gives you the meaning, so you can go on and talk about it. All right. So I think when you start talking about it, you have some of the words to do. So who should we listen to? Who's this? Kento.
I think the extreme sports should be banned because it's dangerous. Normally, to be a strong athlete, like Olympic athlete in one sport, like boxing or something like that, people must start practicing from young age, very young age, like 4 or 5 years old. But I don't want my child to go to some sports school to learn some extreme sports, because if child gets serious injuries through the activities of the sports, that the child have to live with disabilities for decades, for long term. So that's why I think the extreme sports should be banned. But actually, it's good thing to learn some sports from young age, but no extreme one, to avoid the possibilities of getting the risk of serious injuries.
All right. Nicely done there. From good ideas there. He was mainly against. So that'll be a good example, Kento there. Yeah. So when you summarize the article, then that gives you more topics, more ideas for your topic to talk about it. All right. That's a good job. So let's move on to today's work. Is kind of like a preparation. So this one doesn't involve so much submission. Of course, you've got to click the links because I need to check that you're clicking the links. And there's 2 videos that you have to watch. They're quite long. That's why it's going to take you at least the lesson time to watch both videos. They're about 90 minutes total, as it says here. And also, there's quite long articles to read as well. All right. And the subject is poverty in Japan. So here's one of the articles there. People say that Japan is an equal society, that most people have got decent money and so on, but that's not the case anymore. There is becoming a rich and poor society like anywhere else. So this is this is an old article, and things might have got a little bit worse. So check that out. That is just a general article on poverty. And this one is specific on child poverty, like poor children in Japan. Okay. Just before the changeover from Abe to Shiga. So this article is specifically about younger people and poverty. All right. So you got to read those articles. Try and get the concept, the idea in your head. The video to watch should be able to stream on our. It's quite long, so make sure you watch it maybe at home or at the university where you can use their Wi-Fi. And it's about two people, and they are in Japan, very poor. 2 or 3 jobs that they have. Okay, I want you to watch that read the article and watch that video. It's about 60 minutes, that one. And then there's a second one, which is particularly about young people and poverty as well. So specifically about young people and poverty. So really today's work is all about preparation for kind of a midterm. What we're going to do is a midterm report. Okay, so there's going to be a midterm report based on these topics. So the main thing to do this week is to read everything, watch everything, maybe take some notes, make sure you understand what the topic is, and then next week I'll show you how to submit the midterm report. For this course, of course, we've got midterms and final test, but this year, what we're going to do this semester, rather, because there's no Zoom, we're going to have 2 reports. So that means the midterm, which is now around 30%, is going to be a report, and then the final is going to be around 40%, also a report. Okay, so that means that we're going to submit. What you're doing now is going to have an impact on the final final grade, because we're going to divide it up. So make sure you do have a look at that. So midterm 30, final 30. It says presentation test, but I made this when I thought we were going to have Zoom again, but we're not. So we've got Volcaroo, and we've got PowerPoint, and we've got forms, so we can basically do the same test, but not live. It's a kind of on-demand style test. So we do exactly the same thing, but we're just going to submit it in a different way. The office will tell you it's a kind of report, but you know it's going to be similar to the midterm style, which is what we're going to do. So the midterm presentation and the final presentation test is going to be done the Moodle way. And I'll talk about that next week, but it's going to be a similar style. So we're basically doing exactly the same thing as if it was in face-to-face or on Zoom. It would be the same, but slightly, the submission will be slightly different, but not much. Because you know how to speak using Volcaroo, you know how to make PowerPoints and so on. But I'm going to give you different ways to submit. Different ways. All right. So, here's Eri's submission of that article about sport. So what I've said here is, don't check until you have submitted your answers. All right. So then again, I can click on the report, and I can see what time you submitted it and what time I submitted the answers, because the answers are for week 16, so November 16. And then on Monday it's a new lesson, so the homework should already be done. So I can cross-reference all those links. So that means Eri would be safe, because she's submitted it before the answers came out, and the time of Moodle will show her submission time. Okay, so just be careful of that. And that it just means that final grade, when I look at homework, I can give scores, who's done it on time, who's late, and so on. You might be plus minus some points. Okay, so that is our November 23rd, speaking of Japan, to